It is 8:47 at night. The office is quiet now. The phones have stopped ringing. The field crews are home. The project managers have left. The only things still working are the fluorescent lights, the coffee maker, and the estimator staring at a set of plans that should have been finished 2 hours ago. The bid is due tomorrow, not next week, not when we get to it, tomorrow. On the desk is everything that makes a construction bid feel simple from the outside and mildly dangerous from the inside. A set of drawings, a thick project manual, a few addenda, a subcontractor quote that came in late, another quote that has not come in at all, and one email from the owner's rep that says, very politely, "Please confirm your number by noon," which is a nice way of saying, hurry up, but do not be wrong. That is the strange pressure of estimating. From the outside, it looks like math. Count the doors, measure the walls, price the materials, add labor, submit the number. But anyone who has ever lived inside a bid knows better. An estimate is not just a number, it is a bet. A bet that the drawings are clear. A bet that the specs do not hide a surprise. A bet that the subcontractors understood the scope. A bet that the job can actually be built the way the documents say it can. And one missed detail can turn a good bid into a very expensive lesson. That is where artificial intelligence enters the room. The estimator opens an AI-powered tool and uploads the drawings. In minutes, the system begins doing work that used to take hours. It scans sheets, it identifies symbols, it pulls quantities, it organizes information, it starts turning a messy pile of documents into something that looks structured, searchable, and almost calm. And for a moment, it feels like the future has finally shown up to help. Because the AI is fast, it does not get tired, it does not need another coffee, it does not complain about page numbering, it does not stare at a detail sheet and whisper things it should not say out loud, it just works. The takeoff appears, the quantities look clean, the scope summary looks useful, the estimate is starting to take shape. And this is the point where it becomes easy to relax. Maybe too easy, because speed is not the same thing as judgment. And a clean-looking estimate is not always a correct one. Somewhere inside the project manual, buried beneath language that nobody reads for fun, there is one note that changes the job. Maybe the work has to be done after hours. Maybe the building stays occupied. Maybe there is temporary protection required in every corridor. Maybe demolition debris has to be handled a certain way. Maybe an alternate changes the scope. Maybe an addendum revised the detail that everyone already priced yesterday. It is not dramatic. It is not highlighted in red. It does not announce itself like a problem. It is just one line, but that one line can change the labor. It can change the schedule. It can change the risk. It can change the number. And that is the question at the center of this video. AI can estimate the job, but can it catch the mistake? Because in construction, the danger is not always the thing the software finds. Sometimes the danger is the thing it misses. Now let's see what AI gets right. Here is where we need to be honest. AI is not just hype, not anymore. In construction estimating, AI can already do things that would have sounded unrealistic not that long ago. It can read drawings. It can search specifications. It can help identify symbols. It can pull information out of documents that used to require a human being to click, scroll, zoom, measure, highlight, and mutter under their breath for half the night. And for an estimator under deadline, that matters. Because estimating has always had two enemies: time and missing something. AI is very good at attacking the first one. It can move through a drawing set faster than a person can. It can help organize quantities, compare sheets, summarize scope, and point the estimator toward details that might otherwise take hours to find. It can help answer questions like, where are the doors? How many fixtures are shown? Which sheets mention demolition? Where does the spec talk about temporary protection? What changed between the last drawing set and this one? That kind of help is real. And if you've ever spent hours flipping through drawings just to find one note that someone casually dropped into the corner of a sheet, you understand why this matters. AI doesn't have to replace the estimator to be valuable. Sometimes it just has to give the estimator a better starting point. That's the part people sometimes miss. A good AI tool does not have to deliver a perfect finished estimate to be useful. If it can organize the chaos, flag possible scope items, speed up a takeoff, or help someone search a huge project manual in seconds instead of hours, that is already a major improvement. Because the estimator's job is not only to count, the job is to understand. And when AI handles some of the repetitive work, the estimator has more time for the part that actually requires judgment. The assumptions, the exclusions, the schedule, the access, the phasing, the risk. This is where experienced estimators make their money. Not by proving they can click faster than software, but by knowing what the software does not understand yet. So yes, AI can help. It can make the first pass faster. It can make the documents easier to search. It can help reduce some of the repetitive manual work. It can turn a pile of information into something more usable. And in a business where time is tight, margins are thin, and bid days can feel like controlled chaos, that is not a small thing. But this is also where the danger starts. Because the better AI gets, the easier it becomes to trust it. And the more polished the output looks, the harder it can be to remember that polished is not the same as correct. A clean table can still be wrong. A fast takeoff can still miss context. A confident summary can still leave out the one sentence that changes the scope. And that is why the smartest estimators will not be the ones who ignore AI. They will be the ones who know how to question it. This is where the estimate starts to feel safe. The quantities are organized, the scope summary looks clean, the takeoff is faster than anything the estimator could have done manually, and that is exactly why this moment is dangerous. Because in construction, the most expensive mistake is not always the obvious one. It is not always a missing wall. It is not always a door count that is off by 20. It is not always a material price that someone forgot to update. Sometimes the mistake is buried in plain sight. A note on a detail sheet, a paragraph in the specifications, a requirement hidden in the general conditions, a sentence in an addendum that changed what everyone thought they were pricing. It might say, the work has to be done after hours. That changes labor. It might say the building remains occupied during construction. That changes protection, sequencing, noise control, cleanup, and schedule. It might require temporary partitions, floor protection, negative air, daily debris removal, or weekend work. That changes the number. It might include an alternate that seems small until someone realizes it affects multiple trades. That changes coordination. Or it might be one of those lovely construction document moments where the drawings say one thing, the specs say another, and the addendum says, actually forget both of those. Very helpful. Thank you, everyone. And this is the problem. AI can search documents. AI can summarize language. AI can detect patterns. AI can compare information faster than a human being. But AI does not always understand which detail matters most. It may find the words but miss the consequence. It may pull the quantity but miss the condition. It may count the doors but miss the hardware requirement. It may identify the flooring but miss that installation has to happen in phases at night while the building stays open. And the estimate can still look beautiful. That is what makes it dangerous. A bad estimate doesn't always look bad. Sometimes it has clean formatting, neat columns, confident language, and a total at the bottom that feels official. But the job does not care how clean the spreadsheet looks. The job only cares what was missed. Because once the bid is submitted, the project does not become easier just because the AI gave a fast answer. The superintendent still has to build it. The crew still has to access the work. The materials still have to show up. The owner still expects the scope. The schedule still moves. And the company still owns the number. That is the part no AI tool can absorb for you. Risk. AI can assist with the estimate. It can help find information. It can help organize the documents. It can help speed up the first pass. But if the output is wrong, the apology doesn't come from the software. It comes from the contractor. That's why the estimator still has to ask the hard questions. Did the AI include the latest addendum? Did it understand the phasing plan? Did it catch the note about occupied work? Did it read the alternates correctly? Did it separate base bid from optional scope? Did it understand what the subcontractor excluded? Did it recognize the difference between what is drawn and what is required? Those are not small questions. Those are the questions that protect the bid. And that is where the best estimators still matter. Not because they reject technology, but because they know enough not to be impressed by it too easily. A fast answer is useful. A confident answer is persuasive. But in construction, the only answer that matters is the one that survives the job. So where does that leave the estimator? Not gone, not useless, not replaced by a button that says, generate bid and hope for the best. Construction isn't that clean. And honestly, if you've ever worked around construction documents, You already know that. The drawings have notes, the specs have exceptions, the addenda have surprises, the site has conditions nobody mentioned clearly enough, the subcontractor quotes have exclusions that somehow become your problem at the worst possible time. AI can help with the work, but it cannot carry the responsibility. That is why the future is not really estimator versus AI. The future is estimator plus AI versus everyone still doing it the old way. Because the person who learns how to use these tools well will have an advantage. They will search faster, they will compare documents faster, they will catch changes faster, they will build a first pass faster, they will spend less time hunting and more time thinking, and that matters, but the best estimators will never be the ones who simply accept the output. They're the ones who interrogate it. What drawing set did it use? Did it include the latest addendum? Did it separate base bid from alternates? Did it understand phasing? Did it catch the occupied building requirement? Did it compare the subcontractor quote against the actual scope? Did it miss something because the note was on a detail sheet, not in the section everyone expected? That's the new skill, not just estimating, checking the machine that estimated. Because AI doesn't remove the need for judgment. It raises the value of judgment. A junior estimator who uses AI without understanding the work can still be dangerous. But an experienced estimator using AI as a second set of eyes, a search tool, a takeoff assistant, and a document organizer, that person gets stronger. That person can move faster without becoming careless. That person can spend more time on risk, strategy, exclusions, and constructability instead of drowning in repetitive clicks. And that's where the real opportunity is, not replacing the estimator, upgrading the estimator. And this matters for companies too. Because the firms that use AI casually may create a new kind of risk. Clean outputs, fast summaries, polished estimates, numbers that look good enough to trust until they are not. But the firms that build a process around AI can use it differently. They can create checklists, they can require human review, they can compare AI takeoffs against historical data. They can use AI to flag questions, not make final decisions. They can train younger estimators to understand why the output matters, not just how to generate it. That's how AI becomes useful instead of dangerous. Not magic, not panic, a tool, a powerful one, yes, but still a tool. The estimator is still the person who has to understand the job, the scope, the schedule, the risk, the assumptions, the things that are said clearly, and the things that are only said once in a note nobody wanted to read. So when people ask whether AI can estimate the job, the answer is becoming pretty clear. Yes, it can help, it can count, it can search, it can summarize, it can organize, it can get you moving faster, but can it catch the mistake? Sometimes, maybe, not always. And that's why the smartest person in the room may not be the one who ignores AI. It may be the one who uses AI, questions it, and still knows where to look when the answer seems a little too easy. That's how you build smarter.